us, everyone. Today we are talking with Dan, who hates liver and loves mint chip ice cream. He looks like Jason Alexander and wishes he was from Australia. He once worked at a scuba shop, but surprise, he's a stand-up comic. And today he's going to share about his travels as a comedian. So welcome, Dan.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Welcome. This is so great. So we're going to start our famous 7-minute timer and get it going. So I'm just going to start figuring out how long have you been doing comedy? How did this all start? Give us a little background.
I've been doing comedy. It'll be 11 years in September. And it's the short answer with starting. I got divorced and decided to do stand-up comedy. That's the short answer.
That is a great answer.
That's a good reason.
Yep.
So you're doing a comedy tour now, I understand. So tell us, is this comedy tour something new? Have you done it before? And how did you decide what cities to hit and where to go?
So I've done some tours in the past. This particular one, it's called Dan on the Run. And I'm doing some tours throughout the Midwest because what I'm doing is I'm going to be doing an album recording. I'm going to record a stand-up comedy album in August. And so this tour is to help me get ready for that. So I'm going through and figuring out what jokes I want to use on the album, what's probably not going to work. As far as deciding where I went, I just started reaching out to places, different venues and different places with comedy and things like that, especially, post-pandemic, looking at places that were opening up, faster than other places and, had to keep that in mind. So just kind of reached out to different people and I wanted it to be within driving distance. That's another thing, and it's a matter of finding a gig and then linking some other stuff with it. So that way you're, like I just got back from Kansas. I did 3 shows in Kansas and then 1 show in Nebraska.
Okay.
And they were just kind of all linked together.
Okay. And so now that you've done a few and you do this a little bit, do you have anything that you look for in a specific location? Like when you're picking a place, do you look for different types of lodging? Like what kind of places are you looking at when you go?
Well, when I'm looking at the cities to pick for the tour, I'm just looking at places that'll have me. I mean, that's really, it really boils down to like having a good venue,
Okay.
A lot of times you end up performing in bars or breweries, sometimes like I'm going to Omaha, Nebraska, and I'm performing at the Backline Comedy Theater this upcoming weekend. And that's like an improv comedy theater. And so that'll be fun. That's more like a black box theater. But one thing I do like to do when I travel is I don't always get to do this, but I'm a big comic book guy. And so I love seeking out local comic book stores or record stores and antique stores. That's my thing.
Fun.
I like junk.
It's interesting because comic book stores and record stores are kind of like a rare find anymore. So if you find such a place, they've probably been around a really, really long time.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I was just in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I stopped at a local comic book shop, and I was actually surprised because they only sell comic books and graphic novels. And with the way the economy has been, a lot of comic book shops are collectible shops. They sell gaming and they sell, other collectibles in addition to comics. Well, this place only sells comics, and they've been around. The guy that was working said they've been around for over 40 years. So I was pretty impressed by that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So tell us about some of the people you meet. I'm sure you have some great stories. And
oh yeah, definitely get to meet some interesting people. Especially with like doing comedy, you get a lot of, oh, I got a joke you can use. That happens a lot. They'll tell you a street joke or something like that. In fact, that actually just happened. One of the shows that we were doing, I was setting up because a lot of times I have to bring my own gear and for some of these road gigs, and I was setting up and there was people eating before the show, and they weren't actually staying for the show. They were just at the venue eating, and he asked the owner to have me come over there, and I went over there and he's like, hey, you should give us a preview of your show, maybe we'll stay. And I'm like, I already know they're not gonna stay. I could just tell. Like they weren't there for comedy. And I was like, oh sure, I guess I can give you a little preview. And he goes, oh, and then when you're done, I got one for you. And I was like, okay. And I got ready to tell the joke, and he's like, oh no, you got to do it on the microphone. And I was like, no, I can't do that because I'm not giving a preview for the whole bar right now.
Right.
That's why the show is here. I was like,
Right.
this is just a private one-on-one situation for you.
Oh my goodness.
So I gave him the little preview, and then he told me the joke that I could use, which was just a silly crowd work thing. Yeah.
I was going to say, do you ever use them, Dan? Have you ever gotten
No.
anything? I didn't think so.
No,
worked.
not when it no. Because a
Those are-
lot of times it's street jokes, and then that just becomes, you'll end up being known in comedy as a hack. So
Right. That's too funny.
not doing your own
So,
material.
I gotta ask, when you're traveling about, do you always just drive yourself, or do you ever try taking the train or some other modes of transportation to, I don't know, meet
It
other
depends on where I'm
people?
going. Sometimes I fly places, if I'm going, if I'm going to a place where there's an airport, or I'm gonna, flying's an option. But I typically drive most places because I can, I bring my sound gear, I have my PA, my microphone, all that stuff, because some of the venues have that stuff, but some of them don't. So it's good that I have
Oh.
it, because that also helps me. It creates more opportunities for gigs too, because I'm a comic that has this gear. So if say a booker sets up a show somewhere, but that venue doesn't have gear, they can hire me to come in and do a show. So, and they don't have to worry about hiring somebody else to worry about the gear.
Right.
So typically I drive as much as I can. And I, when you're on the road, you sell merchandise and stuff like that. So it's just nice to have all that extra space with me to bring all the gear.
Yeah, so you can bring all your stuff. So we always ask about food when you travel. So we're interested if you've had some amazing food somewhere, where that is, and what your favorite travel meal on the road meal was.
Well, unfortunately, favorite travel meal is often whatever I can get at a gas station. Because only, I know it sounds sad, but it's because when I'm driving places, I'm one of the road warrior. Like I need to get to my destination.
Yeah.
So I only stop for gas, and that's when I do go to the bathroom, so on and so forth. But once I get to wherever I'm going, I like to go explore, restaurants and things like that to see what they got. One of the place that I do comedy at, there's actually, and they've been on diners, drive-ins, and dives, is a place called Oh So Good in Garrettson, South Dakota. And I do, well, now I guess it's more of a quarterly show. When they first opened, we were doing monthly shows, but that restaurant is amazing. Some of the best food I've ever had. Like a lot of times the shows, he does like a dinner and show. And so it's like a 3-course meal.
Mm-hmm.
And everything I've ever had has been amazing. And I'm not really a big seafood person. And so this restaurant is like a kind of a Southern flair soul food place, but it's in a small town up in South Dakota. So it's got like a spin on kind of comfort food, Southern comfort food. And it's really good. Omar he's the owner, and he's an amazing chef. Is what he goes by. That's why it's called Oh So Good.
Oh, so good. Okay, I was gonna say we need to know the name of that so we can tell our listeners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
so good.
Fantastic.
So where do you wish you?
Go ahead, ask. Yep.
I gotta ask my next question. Where do you wish you had more time? Is there a city, a state? Is there places that you would go back to if you had more time, just to explore, as you said?
Almost a lot of the bigger areas that I go to, I wouldn't mind having more time, because there's always, like museums and things that you can go do, and like little attractions. And specifically, just off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of a place that I didn't get a lot of time in. And I mean, because a lot of the places I go to are small towns too, so it's like there's not really a lot to go back to.
Right.
But I like a lot of the bigger cities. Like I was just in Kansas City. It would have been cool to do more there, because Kansas City is supposed to be famous for barbecues and barbecue stuff. And I didn't really have time to go seek out a well-known barbecue place and have some Kansas City barbecue. So it'd be fun to go back and do that.
All right, that works. So we'll put that on our list. We'll ask our listeners for where the best Kansas City barbecue is. See if we can help you find that, Dan. Mm-hmm. So that was our timer. You heard that. That was our 7 minutes. So thank you so much for sharing your stories, Dan. This was fantastic. Lots of fun. And travel with us through real stories from real people. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks for having me.